Hello, Painting with a Purpose friends. Today I'm going to show you how we're going to do a painting, a cute Easter painting, and then I'm going to show you how to turn it into something that you can hang on your front door or in your house just as a fun decoration. So the colors of paint that you're going to need are light blue, white. I've got a couple different spots of white because I want to use it to change the colors. You're going to need a little bit of black, purple, pink, and yellow. You will need some fun ribbon, spring colored ribbon. You will need a wide ribbon for the tie to hang it, and then some smaller ribbon for the little bow in your bunny's hair. So these are just some examples. You can use whatever color you want. You will also be needing a glue gun today, so grab that. If you don't have a glue gun, regular glue will work just fine. You're just gonna have to leave it set for a while till it's good and dry. Also, a stapling gun would work well for the ribbon that we're gonna use to hang it, not for the bow that we're gonna put on our bunny's hair. All right, to get started, you'll need your big 2-inch brush, a medium flat brush, and your medium round brush. And we're gonna paint the background yellow. Wipe the yellow off, and I'm gonna add some white to lighten that yellow. So I'm just gonna, it'll mix right on your canvas. All right, we're gonna let this dry. Okay, so our background is really good and dry. We wanna make sure that that yellow is absolutely, totally dry before we do anything else. So with your medium flat brush, and I went ahead and added a second color blue. So this is called pale blue, and this is called pool blue. You're gonna need 2 tones of blue. So whether you start with the darker blue and lighten it with white, or you automatically have 2 different shades of blue like I did, or you start with the lighter blue and you can lighten it a shade lighter, but you're gonna need 2 different shades of blue. You start with the lighter of the blue, and you can, this next part we're gonna do some lettering, so you can make stencils to make it easier on you. You can draw it in pencil to make it easier on you. I think I'm gonna start with white. That way, if I mess up, it's super easy to cover. And I'm just gonna draw the outline of the letters, and they're gonna be like bubble letters. And they're gonna be at an angle. So this letter over here is gonna be P. Be best for you, but there's the letter P. On the other side, we're going to do a lowercase h, and it's going to be tilted the other way, so it's just going to kind of eyeball it so that they're even. So there's our letters, and now that we have them outlined, I'm going to go ahead and do the P first, because I already have my blue made up, and we're going to use the light blue, and we're just going to fill it in. Let that dry, and I'll probably do a second coat. You can use any colors for your letter. So if you wanted to do a light green and a light blue, or a light green and a light pink, or a light purple like I'm gonna do, you can. It's completely up to you as to what colors you choose. So my H is gonna be a light purple. You do want to use pastel light colors for spring, nothing dark. Covered pretty good, so I probably will not do a second coat on it. Then I'm going to rinse my brush and let my letters dry. So our letters are good and dry. Let's add some detail to them. For this, for our P, we're going to use our medium round brush, and we're going to use that second shade of blue. So whether it's a lighter blue or a darker blue, and we're just going to add stripes. All right, wipe the medium white brush or round brush off, and with the small round brush, we're gonna add white to our H. And it's just gonna be like a bunch of little All right, let that dry, and then we're gonna do our O. We are ready for our O. So with our medium flat brush and our white paint, we are going to start on our O. And it's gonna set just about right here. And we're gonna start out small, and we're gonna make it bigger. It's gonna overlap the O and the P, or the H and the P. 2 big bunny ears. I'm gonna let that white dry and do a second coat. So once the first coat is dry, go ahead and do a second coat of your white. I already did. We're gonna let the second coat dry. While that's drying, we are gonna add some circles to the background. And you're just using that same medium flat brush. It's real simple. You just keep that bottom edge stationary and you pivot the top edge. You just have to make sure now that we have those on there, wipe your brush, and with your medium round brush, we're gonna do a wavy border around the whole picture in white. So it's just kind of framing it. Wipe that off and set that aside. We've got to let our white bunny dry really good. When your bunny is good and dry, we're going to add the pink ears, his cute little face, his pink cheeks. This is the time that you need to go ahead and plug in your hot glue gun if you have one, get it warming up and ready. So we're going to be using our medium flat brush and our pink paint. And we're just going to come in here and do the inside of the ears. Cheeks. So we're going to do that same spinning brush that we did for our polka dots, and they almost touch in the middle, but they don't. So there's one cheek. Looks like this one's a little bigger, so I'm going to go back and make this one. So we have his pink cheeks. We are finished with this flat brush. You can stick it in your water. We're gonna come in with our small round brush. We're gonna give him a little heart nose, or her, right in between the cheeks. Wipe the pink off. From the bottom of the heart down just below the cheeks, you're gonna draw a black line. Just like so. And everything gets outlined. So the bunny gets outlined. For his eyes, you are going to use the end of your paintbrush. So dip it in, and there are two little eyes right above the nose. Just like so. All right, let's add some highlights to his ears. So rinse that black off of your small white, or your small round brush, and we're gonna go to white. We're gonna add just a little bit of, ooh, make sure that black is really good and off. Add a little highlight to the tops of his cheeks. Put a little highlight on his nose. Gonna add a couple of highlights in the letter P over here. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to make this into something that hangs, and we're gonna add a bow in her hair. Okay, to make this into something that you want to hang, you're gonna wanna use a wide, fun ribbon to start with. And you're gonna kinda wanna eyeball, I'm gonna slide it down a little bit, how high you want it to hang. So I'm gonna say about right there, and I'm gonna start my bow from that point. So I'm just making a bow in my ribbon. Pull it nice and tight. Okay, from here you can layer more ribbon. So you can add smaller ribbon to the front or bigger ribbon to the back. I'm not going to. I'm just going to show you. So we want this going to kind of hang off the table. So I'm going to want it to hang about like that. I've messed, my paint is still wet and I've messed up my bunny, but I'll fix him later. Okay, so once you have that, go ahead and cut your ribbon. That looks about right. I slide this over to the side, grab my scissors. Alright, so I'm going to flip this over, and I want it to be glued in the corners. So I'm going to make sure that you turn your ribbon over before you glue it. And then just press it down. You want to make sure your ribbon lays flat so that it hangs evenly. I think I'm going to need to move this one down a little bit. You don't want it to hang crooked. That looks good. So now I'm just going to trim this ribbon over here so you don't see it. Flip it back over. Alright, so now for the bow. You can do the bow between the ear, the bunny ears, a couple of different ways. You can just do a bow like we did here and layer it over top. I'm gonna do it's just kind of like a loop, and I am actually gonna tack it with hot glue gun, and I'm gonna cut it off. And I'm gonna do the same thing with the green. So I just looped it because my ribbon's white underneath. I folded that again so that the green shows out the other side. I'm gonna loop it this way. Tack it. Cut it. Probably gonna need to trim it again. So I'm gonna stick these two together, just like so. Then I've got this other ribbon. So with these two, I'm gonna just make a cute little bow. Trim these up. I'm going to glue this right here. And then I'm going to take this last, it's a little bit skinnier, make a bow out of it. gonna trim up these ribbons underneath here. I'm gonna trim this blue up. And I'm just gonna set, you just want her eyes kind of peeking out, but the bow's gonna go right in the middle, and I'm just gonna put some hot glue gun down. And there you go, you have a cute little fun Easter door sign that you can hang on your exterior door. You can hang someplace in your house. Super cute. Have fun. Can't wait to see what you create.